Good morning. Appreciate everyone being here with us this morning. If you're visiting with us, just know you're honored guests. We have set aside this time during this Bible class to go over the plan of work for 2026, so please bear with us on that. We're very excited for what we have planned coming up in the year 2026. Of course, the plan of work will be on our website. We will get that uploaded as soon as possible. There is a QR code if you would like to scan that right now with your phones. You can follow along. If you would prefer a printed copy, we do have some of those. We will have some more made, so if you would like a printed copy, see Cade this morning. Like I say, he does have a few of those ready to go with you if you prefer to have it that way. But before we start going over the plans for 2026, let's take just a moment and let's look back at 2025. We had some very exciting things come along during 2025. Of course, one of those things is Aaron and Lindsay and Cheyenne and Molly coming with us, and their presence has already been a blessing, bringing renewed energy to the preaching, teaching, shepherding, and serving others within the congregation. Let's also look at the growth that we had in JCSC. We appreciate the job that Luke has done and is currently doing. Of course, Luke took the big step of getting married in 2025, so we're so happy that Meredith is helping him with that work there. One other thing is like I said, in 2025, our theme was homegrown. Life tastes better when it starts at home. I think that was a very good theme for us to look on for the whole year. We have had some growth in all of our efforts there, and we had 11 people who were baptized into Christ, which that's almost one per month. That's great, and we want to continue to reach out to the community and sow the seed. As we reflect on the past year, we do so with gratitude for what God has done among us, with our confidence that He will continue to guide and strengthen this congregation. The experiences of 2025 provide a strong foundation as we move forward, committed to glorifying God through faithful service, loving relationships, and continued spiritual growth. Now, we also, in 2024, the elders here decided to have basically a 12 5-year goal plan. We are still continuing on that. That is year 2 that we're in. I won't go over each one of those 12 steps, but like I say, they will be in the plan of work. We're definitely wanting to continue to strive forward in order to meet these goals. So like I say, when you look through your plan of work, please be sure to go over those 12 different steps there in our goals for the 5-year goal we have for the congregation. All right, I'll turn it over to Cade now.
I'll clarify that we have we'll want to prioritize some of our members who don't have as much digital access. I know that's frustrating if you're not a person who gets on a computer or gets on a phone often, so we'll prioritize you with the paper copy first today. I think I've got about 25 of those, so one per household, and then I'll make additional copies that will be available later on this evening for this evening service for anyone else who would like a copy for your household, okay? Appreciate you on that. And I know that that'll be helpful to have that in your hand. So our 2026 theme, as you've probably already noticed when you came in the door, Bruce helped us get the banners up this last week, is called Let's Talk, Christ in Every Conversation. These sorts of things don't just come up randomly. We have to chew on them, talk about them, we brainstorm what are the needs of the church. Last year, we felt really good about the homegrown theme. We felt that that was really important with trying to develop the talents within our congregation, strengthen each household, and really work together to grow individually within our homes to then grow collectively as a church. This particular theme is based on the idea of our need to converse more, to spread the gospel and to incorporate Christ into the relationships that we have with our family, with our neighbors, and with our coworkers, and those that we go to school with. If you've ever felt like you've wasted a conversation, you might understand the importance of this. You had a moment to talk to somebody, and afterward, why did I even say that? Or what did I even say? Those sorts of things. Or just like, what a waste of time that was. I could have done so much more good from this conversation. Conversations are the basis of spreading the gospel, and we need to make good use of them. This concept began through conversations among the shepherds and ministers, and so we collectively, after sorting through a variety of other ideas that we thought would be important for the church here, said that this one is important for us, and so you're going to hear a lot more about that. So we'll again have theme days like we did last year. Our theme days consist of 8 Sundays and 5 Wednesdays. One of the Sundays is today. Today is our first theme day. Our guest speaker today comes to us by way of Jacksonville, Alabama. His name is Aaron Dodson, and I hope you guys will stay and meet his family. He's going to kick us off today in this morning's worship hour, and we're excited about that. So Aaron worked with us a lot in planning out our theme days for the year. On Sundays, as you can see over here, the focus is going to be let's talk Christ in every conversation. The sermons are going to be based on invitations from Jesus, instances in the Gospels where we can learn about how Jesus talked with others and what he spoke of in introducing the gospel and the good news to people in his life and those around him. So what better person to learn from than Jesus and his conversations? Secondly, on Wednesday nights, we'll be learning about Christ in conversations in the book of Acts. And so you can see we've got 5 selected lessons there. Our speakers will be different speakers than last year. We're trying to get to know some of our brothers who minister throughout this region of Alabama, and so you'll get to know a few more speakers this time around. We're just really thankful for the ones who came last year and did a great job. On Wednesdays, we'll have 5 of our homegrown speakers, so borrowing that term from last year, but 5 of our local men. We are a very talented congregation of men and women, old and young, who can do a lot of really great things, and so we'll have some of our local speakers speak for those Wednesday lessons. And you'll see the schedule in the book, and you can see here that we've got it mapped out. There are a couple of months that we don't have a speaker just yet. Those invitations are out, and they're looking at their calendars to confirm if they're able to do so. So we know who we've asked for those 2 open slots in October and November, but we're just waiting to hear back from them. On an important and very key note is the fact that in November, on November the 1st, that theme day is also going to be a friends and family day, and so we'll try to center things around that, inviting as many people as we can for that lesson. Okay. Also, to illustrate this theme a little bit more, we're going to try to build in to the year more opportunities to talk. Some of that will be formal and formally organized. Otherwise, there will be encouraged grassroots. Study the Bible in your home. Invite some friends and neighbors over. Get with each other for a prayer, a time of prayer. Together or collectively, some organized things that we have. The elders have decided to have shepherds and deacons meetings quarterly this year, which is an important step for us to have to improve our communication and work with our deacons. Also with other ministry servants, those who lead or serve in other ways, to try to build conversations with them that will improve the efficiency of the work, the different works we have going on. And we'll encourage our members to talk to the sick, the shut-in, church family, and neighbors. You can see on the easel there in the screen a chart or a board. You can't tell what that really is, except this is what it's going to be. In the past, we've had a visitation program we feel like, and I like the way Blake put that in our elders meeting this morning. He said, if people participate and engage in all the things that we have planned on this church calendar, you are a part of a visitation program. You are meeting one another, talking to one another, building up family and closeness. I thought that was just really, really well worded. But what that board's going to do since we have so much going on, we didn't want to push another visitation program on us this year. We feel like our members do a good job talking to one another. We can improve in that. But one way to improve on that is to have a board. It's supposed to arrive tomorrow. It's late in the mail. But it's going to be in the lobby, and it's going to have at the top, sick and shut in. On the middle, brothers and sisters, just church family. And on the bottom, it's going to have neighbors or friends. And the intent with that is you're not signing your name to it. You're not, as many times as you talk to or text with or visit with a brother or sister in Christ or a neighbor, and you're seeking to incorporate Christ in every conversation, we just want you to put a tally for every time you've talked to somebody and reached out to somebody in a way that is trying to build up communication. So tally mark, no names attached. And we'd love to see that board filled up. It probably will get filled up before the end of the year, but by the end of the year for sure, we'd like to see that filled up. So keep track of those throughout the week and come in and just put a tally mark, and there will be a Sharpie there for you to be able to do that. We'll also have all invited days again this year. The highlight of that, in addition to what you're just going to see on the calendar, is we've built in more game nights because this last year, just over the overall feedback about the game nights and those who went it's just a fun night for us to let our guard down, enjoy one another's company, sit down with people you might not always sit down with, and enjoy games. People brought their own games. It wasn't you have to bring food time, but it became everybody's bringing something for themselves and like, you can have some too. And to me, it was very, very authentic and, or I guess the word organic would fit there. And it just happened. And it's the way that it needs to be. So we've built in more game nights, and we added one more picnic time. Last year we did it in the fall. We're going to do one in the spring also, a picnic on a Sunday, and you'll see the other events there.
One of the ways that we can be friends with our neighbors and invite them to come and participate with us is our community meals, which we will have in March the 27th, one in July the 17th, and one in October the 17th. This is a great opportunity to invite your friends and neighbors to these company meals and be able to sit with them. We ask all members to sit at a table where there's visitors, and that way you can talk to the visitors and tell them about the church and about what our plans are and how it can help them in any way that they need. So just remember those dates, and this is a good way to get those to come and participate with us and learn the truth.
A few more ways that we have for the congregation to serve the community, and one thing we'll continue to do is our nursing home singing. Some people may want to list that as a nursing home ministry or whatever. We will still continue to go to Legacy Assisted Living and the Jacksonville Health and Rehab. Of course, each time that we go, we ask a specific group to please be there. Now, with that being said, if you are not in the Rooted or Real group and you want to go to the nursing home singing, please do so. We need as many people as possible. We started that back, and it seems like everybody's really enjoying that. Another opportunity we have to serve the community was our fall festival this year. We had it here at the church building, had cars out there doing trunk or treat, had things to eat in there, and really wasn't for sure exactly how this was going to turn out since this was our first year in a long time to do it here. But wow, we had, I would say, well over 200 people from the community come through. So, of course, this year, Halloween was on a Friday. We had perfect weather. Of course, this year, coming up, 2026, Halloween will be on Saturday. So we're wanting to try to do that again. And, of course, we're wanting to improve the way we've done it also. But it takes everybody's effort in order to make this a success. So we appreciate what everybody done for us in 2025 as far as making this a success. And we are looking forward to doing the same thing in 2026, but making it just a little bit better. The other thing that we are looking at, or that we are going to do here is, you know, for many years we've used the post office to mail stuff out to the community as far as evangelizing. Well, we're going to incorporate our theme, you know, Let's Talk, into another publication that we can send out. It'll be more like a study guide, and it'll have like QR codes in there for people who want to study more. So we are getting that together right now, so that way we can saturate the entire zip code of 36265 with the gospel. Really not sure exactly how many times we're going to be able to do that this year, but we are moving forward with that. So be looking for that if you do live in the 36265 zip code. You should be receiving a copy of that in your mail. Of course, we'll have some extra copies here for anybody who does not live in that zip code. Thank you.
Okay, so this next section, so all of what you just heard there was more centered around the theme. That's why the book was designed, or the presentation's designed this way. So the things that Blake just spoke of and I spoke of, whether it's the Fall Festival or our homebound nursing home ministry, or trying to flip back and try to remember those things that we just went through. The local publication that encourages people getting with a friend and studying together. Like, it's going to be designed in a way that it should be, anybody should be able to pick this up and go through a Bible study that would be an uplifting, encouraging, engaging for just the average person. Okay, Aaron and I were at Starbucks and we started talking about it, and that's where this idea sort of came from. Is we're sitting at Starbucks and we're like, this is not a terrible world that we live in. You know, it's really not. I don't know how many of, I know a lot of you are coffee drinkers. I don't know how many of you frequent Starbucks, but some of you might go to Jack's, and on any weekday morning in Jack's, or we live in Anniston, sometimes we're at Panera in the morning. We're not in a terrible world. There are a lot of people who like to study the Bible. They'll crack open their Bibles. A lot of college students at Starbucks or different places that got their Bibles open. And we just think it'd be really cool and useful if somebody gets something in the mail and they're like, you know what, for this month, I want to go study. Let's study the Let's Talk paper that came in the mail. It's got a Bible study right there for us. And so all of those things, the all invited days, all those things we just talked about are centered around our theme. They're opportunities to encourage Christ in every conversation. So that's why we went through all of that at that point in time. So age-based ministries here at our congregation, for the last several years at this point, we've divided us up into youth and college and our young professionals, which is called Rooted, our real ministry, or our real age group, which is ages 35 to 50, and then our prime timers are our group that is intended for ages 50 and up. Real, as a side note, stands for relationships, example, activity, and love. I think Jeremy Turner came up with that idea at one point. I thought that's pretty good for the name of that group. Now, each group obviously has unique characteristics, and the reason why you would do that is it's supposed to be a functional way for us to be more relatable to people in our age group who go through similar life experiences of that particular period of time. And so the goal is, from the elder's standpoint, that all of those groups thrive and are busy and active, not only in things that allow them to talk and enjoy one another's company and have fun, but also to do things that are productive for spiritual growth and possible service and outreach as well. And so in all of these works, we're not where we'd like to be yet, but there are definitely things that we're going to continue each year to work on to try to develop them more. So with that said, and one other thing, this comes up sometimes. You know, do I have to all of a sudden abandon my friends in one group the second that I or my spouse turn 50 or 51? That tends to be a tough one. And we understand. One day, not too long from now, I'm going to be in that age group. So the biggest message we want to say is, you know, just do what is enjoyable for you and where your friends are, but also realize transitioning in life that you might begin to participate in. If you've got a spouse who is a different age group, you might begin participating in that next age group for the sake of encouraging one another and edifying one another. And as much as possible, maybe you're attending two different things or beginning to attend one more than the other, etc. So no, we're not leaving all of our friends, and it would be nice if everybody could attend everything. And so I'm trying to say this in as nice and kind of a way. It's just like, you know, be supportive and do what you can to participate in as much as you can. It's not leaving you out. If, you know, the second you transition from one group to the next, you're supposed to leave all those people behind. We love our brothers and sisters in Christ, and we're not asking you to do that. We just want it to be a nice transition for you in time to support different groups within the church who have really, really great things going on. As far as our gym group, Jacksonville Youth Ministry, I just want to begin by reminding everyone of why we went with the acronym GYM. It is nice to abbreviate. It means I don't have to type it out every single time, Jacksonville Youth Ministry. But it's a nice little acronym that has a play on the sound of GYM, gym, like you go to work out. And 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 8 talks about that physical exercise profits, but it doesn't profit a lot. It profits a little. But godliness exercise profits much. It does a lot more good. And so what we're trying to do with our young people is we're trying to exercise them spiritually so that throughout life, like the book of Ecclesiastes says in chapter 12 and verses 1 and following, it's like, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth. You know, it's important to obey God when you're young because you're fastening into your life a structure of a support structure from the greatest being on the in the universe to be able to help you throughout life. And if you abandon him or do not follow him early, you know how difficult it is to do so late in life because you've observed it or experienced it yourself. We have monthly devos, area-wides. This year we're venturing out of East Central Alabama to participate in Birmingham area-wides. And so we'll be going over there once a month, about 7 or 8 times in the year when they have those planned. We're going to incorporate activities and service. We still will do our road trips. We've got dates fastened, but not exactly the locations just yet. But that is roaming outside Jacksonville to assemble with disciples. That's ROAD, a big old long acronym, but it's always uplifting for those small churches that we get to go visit because they don't see a lot of young people and they don't see a lot of visitors, and so they still love us coming to them. And it's good for our young people to have some leadership in teaching classes and leading worship. This year we've got some fun activities planned as well, which will involve a hike to Cloudland Canyon. I'm kind of excited about that one already. This year's gym themes for different events that are coming up are going to be our whole year gym theme, borrowed from the Sycamore Bible Bowl's chapters, is Genesis 26 through 50, words with weight. So we're going to look at promises from God, promises from man not kept. We're going to look at harsh words, edifying and uplifting words, words with weight, Genesis 26 through 50. Also in the summer, the TNT class, our younger children's class, is going to be God's Show and Tell. And that one, I already am excited about the lessons that I've got planned for that, where the kids will get to actually also bring something each week that I'll assign them as part of Show and Tell. Shop Talk will be our Thursday night hangout class, and I'm trying to incorporate 3 other churches to do that so that maybe we go to those 3, and for 4 Thursday nights in July, hopefully we'll have 4 churches that we can participate with. They come to us once and we go to them 3 times, and they make that a little bit more interactive with some other churches. And then finally, dive into God's Word. This will be our VBS theme for this year, with lessons that center around water-based events. I always hear my decorators. The decorators like to think about decorations, but we also like to think about great lessons in God's Word, and so we're fusing those two with a water-based theme, so, but also lessons that are going to get us diving more into God's Word. The DIG program, we're going to continue it. I'm going to try to focus each month a little bit better than I've done in the past, but you can see all the different topics or areas of work that young people can involve themselves in. So the DIG Wednesdays will continue with monthly focuses.
It's been a good year for the JCSC, but looking up towards 2026 and what we plan on for this year, and of course, it's no secret that in the past year we have lost and gained a lot of people. It's a much younger group. We have a lot of freshmen, and we aim to continue our outreach, continue being involved on campus. We're a registered student organization, and so that gives us access to things like Get On Board Day and summer orientation. So next week, me and I'll get one other college student to come with me. We're going to Get On Board Day, be able to talk to all of the student body, be able to spread the word about JCSC and spread the word about the gospel, and hope that will be a success for us. We have some things coming up in the year that involve us with the whole congregation, a lot of service that we do. One of those being our Valentine's Sweetheart Banquet, and that'll be next month. And we have other things coming up that you can come and get involved with JCSC. The JCSC Olympics are in March if you want to have some friendly competition with us. And also with the meals coming up, which tomorrow we do not have somebody signed up for the meal. So if you're interested in that, come talk to me after services today or tonight, and that'd be much appreciated. But we're very excited for what's going on with JCSC. If you've seen the plan of work, you have the aims that we have. We want to reach the whole entire student body of Jacksonville State, and any college student in the area that needs a place to come on Monday nights. We have our devotionals. And we have a lot of programs coming up. We're going to Indian Creek this spring for a college retreat. We're going to CYC. So a lot of things to be excited for this semester. A lot of ways that we can be encouraged and we can become a community and we can grow closer to God. And that's all I've got.
We appreciate Brent Cooper and Darla for heading up the Prime Timers program. We got an exciting year planned for the Prime Timers. We got a lot of things going on. Not only are we going to take time to sit down, have a good meal, and talk to one another, but yet we're going to have each month we're going to have a theme where we can go visit others, or we can participate in serving others as we need to. We ask everyone that would like to, as their age, we know we have a problem with age. Now, you know, it's 50 above, but if you want to come at you 49 or 47, come on. I mean, that's fine. We would love to do that. That's the second Thursday of each month. Brent, we're going to have to admit we had to change that back to the 11th due to ICYC, and had to change the Vacation Bible School dates. So we're back to all of them is on the second Thursday night of each month. On Saturday, June the 20th, the Prime Timers is going to host the entire congregation in a picnic here at the building from about during the day from 10 to noon. So plan on being on that. And also, George, make sure you get out and you put it on your calendar. George forgets a lot about prime timers, and I gave him a rough time about it, but we appreciate that. Other is our prison ministry. Back in 2009, when we started this, we were doing with prisoners 250 to 300 Bible studies each month. Well, due to the prisoner themselves, the government or whatever decided, we were limited to what we could send. We were limited to what we could do with them. So now we're down to about 35 a month, but still have a good time teaching those prisoners, because they're forgotten people, really. You know, they're in for all different reasons, and we don't question why they're in prison, what they did, nothing like that. We just try to teach them, and we have been able to teach quite a few now. So we're going to continue to do that. We thank Sister Carrie for grading those, and it's less than they used to be. She used to spend all night grading Bible studies, and we appreciate that. Others are field ministry that we started a couple of years ago at Pleasant Valley. We have kids who basically what they get to eat is what they get at school during the day, and unable to have anything for the weekend, very little, if any. So we started what we call a field ministry, and we provide a number of bags filled with goodies. Most of it is stuff that they can carry home and share with their family if they have to, and we also send them that each Friday afternoon. Participate all the ladies who participate in that and filling up the bags, and also those who carry it out to the school on Friday at 1 o'clock. We also added not every week, but Ohatchee and Sachs Elementary to that group. They pick up the stuff here and carry it to the school themselves, and Corey and also Mallory. So we appreciate that. We're able to help them also. Also, we're still going to do our third Wednesday family meals and birthday cake celebrations each month. There's got a list in the plan of work of who's in charge each month, and there'll also be a list on the refrigerator out in the fellowship building, so you will know when it's your time to participate in this. If you're not participating in it, and we went with a fine-tooth comb, make sure everybody who wanted to would participate. If you're not participating, we'd love to have you, and just let me know, and I can add you in, because we need extra ones to do that.
The next thing we'd like to go over is, of course, our food preparation teams. Those have been revised. We do have a leader for each one of those teams, and of course, who would be helping out with that team. And for any of y'all who doesn't know, what we mean by food preparation team is, like if we have a death here in the family at the Jacksonville Church, we will definitely offer a meal or anything like that. And of course, these will be kept up with who, like if we have team one, of course, the next one would be team two, and so on. So these lists have been updated. If for any reason you've been left off or anything like it, please let us know. It was just a mistake. We tried to include everybody, but if you are not on one of those teams, please just let one of us know. We'll be happy to add you to that. The other thing I'd like to talk about is our card ministry. We've wanted to revamp that. That's such a good work. our sister Ellen, she does a great job with keeping up with the names, printing those out each week, having them in there. And so what we've done this year is we have 4 teams. We have asked certain people to lead up that team. And if you are on their team, be expecting a phone call, a text, or something. Hey, don't forget it's our week. So what we're asking is, if you would please, each Sunday night, specifically, if you would go into the elder's office in there, like I say, Ellen does a great job. The sheets are there, tells you, if the person was visiting or if they're sick or whatever. It's very great the way she handles that. And let's get that card ministry back up and going like it does. It does so much good that we'll never know. But the main thing is when you fill them out, please leave them on the table in there. If you'll leave all the cards on the table in there, we will make sure they get mailed out Monday morning. All right? I know some people like to get the list and carry them home. That's fine. But if you want us to mail them, they need to be on that table Monday morning. If not, it'll probably be the following Monday before they'll get mailed out, okay? But let's just take a look at this, and let's definitely get this started back up, because it does so much good. I personally know of people who have received cards from the congregation, and they speak very, very highly of it, and the appreciation they have just thinking that, hey, there's people out there thinking about me and praying for me. So it's just such a great work, and so let's make sure we go with this. Now, we will start this February. So everybody's going to say, well, which week do I do? Well, starting in February is when we will start this back off again. We'll have team 1 through 4. So what are we going to do in a month that has 5 Sundays in it? Well, the 5th Sunday, you get to take off, okay? But just know that that's going to be coming up. Your team leaders should be reaching out to you just as a reminder. Hey, it's our week to fill out cards, so please be in there. Now, if you want to go in there every week and fill out cards, you are more than welcome to do that. The more cards, the better, okay? So don't think, well, I can't go, or next week's going to be my week, but I'm going to be on vacation out of town. You can go in there another week. That's no problem at all. So just be sure to take a look at that, and we look forward to that card ministry taking back off again.
So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was the Philip project. As y'all know, Philip in the Bible was the evangelist that went down and studied with the eunuch. He was called by the Lord to study, and so I think that's the basic idea, and that's one of the lessons, if I'm not mistaken, during the Wednesday nights. The personal evangelism done right will be a lesson on Philip and the way he evangelized. We all know that Jesus said he came to seek and to save the lost. We all know that. We all know that Jesus calls us to make disciples of all the world. Sometimes the how of that can be very challenging, can be intimidating, can be fearful. And so I hope that through not only the theme lessons, but through some of the classes that I will be doing in the adult class and also in the sermons will just help us to grow in our courage and our strength. We all need it, including me. We need to grow in our love for the souls around us, and that's part of what the Philip Project is to carry out evangelism. Sometimes evangelism is treated merely like a project, and it's not merely a project. The project part of it is that we're trying to be organized and communicate and work together. But it also happens naturally if our minds are set on it. If we're set to, and again, I think that's what the theme Sundays and Wednesdays are going to help us do, just to talk about Jesus. I just really admire people that I see even in the religious world, that even in the denominational world, some of those folks are just very tender-hearted and very loving, and they got that part right. They like to talk about Jesus, and so should we. Not because they do it, but because Jesus did it. And so, and some of you do. This is not a scolding and a whipping. Nobody in this church talks about Jesus. It's just a whole, we all, including me, want to grow in that, and that's what the Philip Project is intended to do. Basically, right now, we do have a team of people, of our members already. They know who they are. And our desire, number one, and this is where when I came in, we're trying to build this up, and we want to carry this out in this year, has to do with studying with people that we baptize. And so that's important. And also on the front end, like if you know, I'm putting myself out there, if you know of opportunities in your own family or the people that you interact with that you would like some help with that, whether it be some material or just talking with me about questions you may have that you deal with, all of it. Again, I love the idea of the Philip Project, but I don't want it to come across as being complicated or hard, or I can't be that because I'm not a pulpit preacher. You know, again, we're all in this together, working together, and this ties all in with our meals. Our community meals are great opportunities to talk, to invite, to bring them, to talk to them, and just say little things, small things about the church and about Christ, about the gospel, and all that. And there'll be, and another last thing I want to say about the Philip Project is that this organized effort is also, as the year goes along, starting today forward, I want to encourage each of you, like if you have ideas about ways to reach out into the community to get people, as we would say, like on the front end, that's something that we all need to communicate together, and I'm happy to take in those suggestions and let's all work together on that. The next thing in the plan of work is the daily Bible reading. I've preached a few sermons in the last probably 3 months about reading our Bibles in the new year. Toward the very end of the year, one of the last lessons that I did was about reading the Bible every day this year. Whether you make it through the entire Bible in the year or not, I just challenged you to just make sure you try to read it every day. Every day. Don't let a day go by that you didn't read God's Word. And so the daily Bible reading plan has some, again, in the plan of work, but I want to highlight this. If this plan that's put out, that we have on the tables out there, if you choose to use this, what it does is each Sunday and Wednesday you read a psalm, which there's purpose behind that. If you need some help in reading the Word of God or you just need some direction, reading a psalm on Sunday and Wednesday will help, put your mind in the right place before you come to church to worship God. Because the Psalms were basically the worship book, for the Israelites. And a lot in there we can glean from it. On Saturdays, which is typically for most of us, I venture to say, somewhat of a rest day. Sometimes Saturdays are lazy for us and we get to relax, and then sometimes we're real busy at the ballparks and other church events and so forth. But on Saturdays, the Bible reading plan has Proverbs, which Proverbs is one of the main books we call the books of wisdom in the Bible that we can reflect and gain wisdom. So I want to encourage you, use that plan if you don't have. And if you have another idea as far as for yourself individually, or you have questions about reading the Bible daily, some of you probably do that just fine and dandy on your own. But if we have any members that you're struggling to do that and you think somehow that maybe I could help you because I'm here to help, I'm here to serve, I'll be glad to at least show you some reading plans that are available that can help you. The more you talk about what you're reading with others and you share that with others, the more it will help you to stay on track in the year. So I encourage you to do that. It's not bragging to tell your family you're reading the Bible. That's not patting yourself on the back, unless for some reason you've got a crooked purpose in doing that. You're just talking about it with each other will help us say, oh, I need to be reading my Bible each day. I didn't read the last 2 days. I need to get back on. And so that's what I want to put out there for you. Anytime throughout this new year, you notice you've been a week, you've been whatever, you've been a day, you've been a month. When you realize that, change that. Start back up and talk about it with others, and it will help you. The next part is the teaching and learning and devotional opportunities. Again, all this will be, and some of this is stuff that we know that we do on a regular basis, but nonetheless, it's stuff that, for example, our Sunday morning and Wednesday night Bible classes, the Sunday morning and Wednesday Bible classes, we're blessed to have all the teachers that we do. Keep up the good work that you do. I know there are a few for the younger children that are not in here that didn't hear me say that, but those are great opportunities use those opportunities. Even our older members who have grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, if you can get them here once a month, once a week, twice a month, bring them. Some of our members do that, and that is so encouraging for me, and I think for all of us to see when you're able to bring people in your family and young people to participate in the Bible classes. Check out the page in the work about the learning opportunities for this year for the different age groups, for the kids, for the gym kids, the gym teens, and then all members. And also on this, just in case somebody doesn't know, starting, really in January, I'll be heading up the Tuesday men's Bible class. And so I'm blessed to do that. And some of our guys will continue to rotate, helping with that. Mike Cole is out right now with his hamstring and potential surgery, but he will rotate. Radford will rotate. We have some of our Jacksonville men that will do that, and we're excited. And then the men's breakfast also as well. And then there's women's breakfast as well planned for this year. All that's in the plan of the work and the details. I'll just briefly mention the men's class. Do you have that on there by chance? The the adult Bible class? Oh, okay. On the adult Bible classes, again, I'll be teaching the adult Bible classes on Sundays and Wednesdays, and I won't go over everything on it, but basically this first quarter, starting next Sunday, I'll be doing about 8 lessons on the parables. And then second quarter, miracles of Jesus. Third quarter, discourses of Jesus. Fourth quarter, the identity of Jesus. And on Wednesday nights, first quarter, we'll be looking at Genesis, and a quarter is not long enough to cover the whole book, so we're not covering the whole book. It's just select lessons out of Genesis. Same way with Exodus, second quarter, third quarter, Joshua and Judges. And then in the fourth quarter, we'll have a few lessons on Isaiah and the Psalms. Now, the purpose of these lessons that I've put together, and I'll draw this out more as we go. I won't have time now to talk in detail about that. But the adult Bible classes are designed to help us know more about, Jesus and the conversations that he had and all of that without covering the lessons that we're doing on theme Sundays and Wednesdays. And so this is just going to give us the background information that we need about Jesus. For example, the teachings of his parables, his miracles, his discourses, his identity, like his I am statements and things like that. Again, to help educate us and remind us about things that we can talk about in every conversation throughout this year as we're trying to live out this thing for the Lord. Thank you.
Briefly want to mention, I know Aaron mentioned, but last year we had a men's breakfast, and we will continue to do that this year also on certain dates. We've had great turnouts at those, had a good opportunity. So this year we thought, women should have the same opportunity. So we have put that into place here. Those dates are, like I say, are going to be March the 7th, July the 18th, and October the 10th. We do have laid out who the speaker's going to be. We will be using ladies here from the congregation and who's going to be the cooks. Strongly suggest for you to invite family and friends to this. Most of the time, ours lasts maybe an hour. So it's not a very long event for a Saturday morning, but it's a good event for you to invite your friends to come and just enjoy the fellowship and, of course, enjoy the food, of course. That's what a lot of people come to the men's for, but we do have some good cooks there, and we all have a great time. But we are going to incorporate the women doing the same thing this year, and we look forward to that growing just like the men's have.
I know we're tight on time and we're running over, so I'm just going to flash some dates up there. You can see I'll have that printed on its own separate sheet, not just in the plan of work, but you'll find that on the church table later on today. I'll make sure we have some copies of the whole church calendar. That is, I would say, about 97% of all of our activities for the year. There are a few real group activities that I wasn't able to get on there just yet, but those are already set in stone. So I'll actually have that. I'll have those added to the one single sheet page that'll be on our church table. You can see January through June, and then July through December. And two things every month that happen that aren't going to be on that calendar as of right now. I don't think we have to add it. Are going to be the homebound nursing home visits. And so twice a month we'll be going there as well. And so I'll currently just leave those off because those are just going to be habits for us to participate in.